Hi, everyone. My name is Molly Lofquist Johnson. I work in the admission office here at the Prairie School. I am with my colleague Shay Borzinski, who you will hear from a little bit later on, along with Callie Atanasoff, who is manning the back end. So you'll see her name on here as well. But for today, our goal really is just to pass along a lot of information that we know you as new parents will need to be aware of. And for the most part today, we're going to spend the time navigating Prairie's website, touching on things like our school calendar, uniforms, supply lists, health information, stuff like that. So you'll see here, we're going to start with the school calendar on Prairie's website. So this is prairieschool.com. The main page of the website. And at the very top, we have a couple of specific buttons that are really helpful for parents. And I just wanted to point these out to you. The first is the school calendar. So as we click on that, you'll see here that it gives you access to information about the lunch menu, important dates, the athletic calendar, things like that. So again, just a resource for you throughout the year. As you know, you may have to come to campus for meetings or activities. This is a great place for you to check into regularly. And then the second button at the top is Powerschool. And this we're going to talk about a little bit later in the webinar. But again, I just want you to note where that quick link button is. So back to just kind of the main page of the website. If you see on the right-hand side on the menu bar, there's this, yes, the Parent Resource tab. And if you hover over that, it opens up quite a bit of information. What we're going to focus on today is the Getting Ready for 22-23 button, which is easily clickable. And it's really a good thing for you to regularly review this over the course of the summer. We will continue to add new information to this page. And right now we're just going to kind of go through the stuff that's on here. But again, another good habit is just to kind of keep coming back every week or so throughout the summer. Okay, so as we click on that button, you'll see there's this first tab, or this first part of the tab that talks specifically to new-to-Prairie families. That is you. And we have some save the dates on here that we want you to be aware of. The first, on the left-hand side, we have our coffee conversations. And these happen in early August, and they are broken out by division: primary school, middle school, and upper school. And they're held on different days here on campus. And it's just an opportunity for you to be able to come into school, meet other new-to-Prairie families, and then also have your questions answered in person. If you happen to have children in more than one division, you can choose which of those three conversations works best for your schedule and then attend that one. On the right-hand side, we have some orientation events for our upper school and middle school students. The first is the Upper School Summer Bridge session, which is scheduled for mid-August, along with the middle school orientation, also scheduled for mid-August. You will get more information from us about these events as the summer goes on. But again, we just want to make sure you get these on the calendar for your kids. As we continue to scroll down, we're moving into the general all school information. And this part of the Getting Ready page is really for all Prairie families, new like you, along with all of our returning families. And annually, we will ask you to access this page and continually do these things. So we're introducing this to you now, but eventually you'll do this annually each summer. So the first thing I want to do a quick link, or a quick click rather, on the linear calendar. Now this is different than the calendar button we showed you before, but it's a great place to just get a real clear view of days that we have off of school for vacations, holidays, teacher in-service days, whatever it might be. You'll see that the first day of school for our primary and our middle school students is Wednesday, August 24th. And just a quick side note, it shows up there a few different abbreviations. ES means early school, PS means primary school, MS means middle school, and US means upper school. So we regularly use those in lots of our communication. So just going forward, when you see them, you know what that means. But again, for our primary school and our middle school families, that first day of school is Wednesday, August 24th. We do have a staggered start for our preschool families, our early school families. And what that means is that the primary school office will let you know if your child's first day is either on Wednesday, the 24th, or if it's on Thursday, the 25th. And then everyone comes together on Friday, the 26th. So it just kind of gives the kids a real short introduction before everybody is together on the 26th. And you'll get that information a little bit later in the summer directly from the primary school office. With regard to upper school, that's a little bit different. So annually, our high school students start the school year with a 4-day, 3-night outdoor education experience at Camp Manitowish. And so our high schoolers are leaving on Tuesday, August 23rd for camp and return later that week on Friday, with their first day of school actually happening the following Tuesday, which is August 30th. And you'll get a little more information about camp later in this webinar, and then also more information from the upper school as the summer goes along. But again, back to this linear calendar, it's just a nice snapshot. You can get a sense of when we're out of school for long weekends, vacations. It also indicates on here which days are before and after school care program, which we call stay and play, is available. Not all days that we have off is stay and play available, but many of those. And this is a great program offered to many of our families, where we have before school care beginning at 7:30, and we have after school care going until 6 o'clock. So it's a super flexible program, which I know many of you will use. Okay, if we kind of go back to that getting ready page and we scroll down a little bit. So we talked just a little bit about stay and play. If you could click on that for a minute, this gives you more specific information about the dates that it's available, the times that it's available, and costs, all sorts of general information about that. If you want to click back out of there, there's a little bit of health information that's clickable here. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the webinar, but just a quick note that every new-to-Prairie family must have a physical form signed and a copy of immunizations on file before the first day of school. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then also in the summer, our food service program will be available. We don't have that information quite yet. But as we continue to scroll, we have a couple of different databases that Prairie uses on a regular basis. The first is Powerschool, and the second is FACS. Powerschool is where we house all of the demographic information for our students: name, address, phone number. But in addition to that, we will maintain health records in there, academic records. So it's kind of that main place, that main hub for all of our student information. And then we also have a separate database system, which is FACS. And this is where you will sign up for an account and have all your tuition and fees, lunch, stay and play, all of that is billed through this FACS account. So we'll go into a little bit more detail about Powerschool. I just wanted to recognize that there are two different accounts that you will, if you have not already, have to sign up for and generate a parent portal. Okay, so if we click on the Powerschool button, you will receive from the admission office an email that has a direct instructions about how to set up your Powerschool account. And we're going to use one of Callie's kids just to kind of give you a quick look at what you'll see once your parent account is set up. So on the left-hand menu bar, kind of halfway down or so, there's a little tab called Student Information. And if we click on that, it will bring up a few different tasks for you to look at here in Powerschool. Now, this is something that you will do every single year, but it's most important to do it now as a new family. So the first, or the top number one link there, student and parent information, here you will see all of the information we've imported about your child: name, address, phone number, date of birth. We need you to confirm that all that information is accurate. And if it's not, you can use the empty fields in there to correct any errors that we have. And once you click submit at the bottom, it will update that information, and then you will no longer see a red X near the number 1. You will see a green check mark. The second number here, number 2, is the health and medical information, and this is key and critical, especially for new students coming in. There is a lot of information in here, and we need you to go in and kind of look line by line to indicate any medical conditions that we need to be aware of, any medications that your child may take here at school or at home. There are some clickable links in here looking at different health plans if your child has asthma or has an allergy. There are some over-the-counter stock medications that you have to kind of give permission for our health office to administer to your child. So we need you to take a peek at those and decide if it's okay for the health office to give those to your child. And if so, you'll go ahead and indicate your initials there. You can refuse everything, you can accept everything, you can make some specific specifications, whatever works for you. But this is where you'll do that. As you continue to scroll, again, we need doctor information, contact for physicians, and then very importantly, emergency contact information. So if something happens here at school and we are not able to get a hold of you, who can we contact? So this is where you would house that information as well. And then again, once you click the submit button at the bottom, it will then take you back to the main page, and you'll see a green check mark next to the number 2. There are also some waivers and forms in here. This is specific really to upper school. And if your upper school student is going to the Camp Manitowish program, which is the expectation, there's a waiver in here that you would fill out, very similar to the last tab in health, where you just kind of put your initials in there, indicating that it is okay for your child to attend that trip. And then as we go back to the main page, the last important piece is our grandparent information. So every year Prairie hosts a Grandparents' Day, which is a great opportunity for special friends and or grandparents to come in and kind of follow their Prairie student around for the morning. And it's in this portal here where you can indicate addresses of people who you think would be a good person to invite to that event. So you'll see that there. And again, as you go through each of these items, once you hit the submit button at the bottom, you'll see a green check mark, and then you'll know you've completed it. And as I said before, this is something you will continue to do annually. With regard to, if we kind of click back to the section with the Powerschool and the facts button on that getting ready page. So as I mentioned, we have the 2 separate databases, and you need to sign up for a parent account both in Powerschool and also in facts. So if you have questions about the facts program, there's some contact information here for our business office, and they can kind of help you with that. So now we are going to kind of switch over and I'll have you meet Shea Berzinski. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shay Borzinski. I work alongside Molly in the admission office, and I would like to take you through some more division-specific information. So if we continue to scroll down, you will see that it's separated between primary, middle, and upper school. And I'd like to start with primary school with the things that we'd really like you to know before the first day of school. If you look, the first thing that you want to put on your calendar is the ice cream social. This is a wonderful event that we have here on campus on the playground, where all families, not just new families, but all families come together, and the teachers come, and it's a really great opportunity for your children to meet other kids in their class, to meet their teachers, and to just enjoy the playground and some ice cream. So make sure you put that on your calendar right away. Next, you'll find a link for our dress standards. If you click on that, you will see that we do not have a uniform for early school and kindergarten students. We just ask that they dress comfortably, as they will have gym class every day. And please make sure that they have gym shoes either in their locker, or they're wearing gym shoes to school, because they will have gym every single day. Starting in grades 1 through 5, your student will be required to wear a uniform. They can wear navy blue, khaki pants, skirts, or shorts, as well as red, white, or blue polo shirts. Also, we have the Prairie Plaid that can be purchased at Land's End if your student is interested in wearing a plaid jumper. You can find that at Land's End. The other thing that I'd like to point out is that the students really enjoy wearing Prairie spirit wear, and that's okay to wear too. Tennis shoes are also okay to wear with the uniform, so don't worry about purchasing special shoes or dressier shoes for the uniforms. Most students choose to wear tennis shoes. Every Friday is a casual day, so students are able to choose what they'd like to wear as long as it's appropriate for school. If we head back out to the main page, you will find the next link is for the supply lists. So if we click on that, you will notice that most of the supplies are covered in the all-inclusive student fee. So most of the supplies you do not need to worry about purchasing. But if you see here listed under each grade level, there are just a few things that we ask you to bring on the first day of school, such as a change of clothes, just in case your student's clothes get wet during the day. A water bottle is very important. Also headphones used for use with the technology in the classroom and things like that. So you'll be able to click through and find your grade and then see those few items that we do need you to bring on that first day. If you click back out, we can scroll down to the to-dos. Under primary school, there are just a few to-dos, and they relate only to the 5th grade students. So in 5th grade, Prairie requires summer reading. So there's a tab here that you can click to find out what that summer reading assignment is for your 5th grader. There will be a list of the books, and then also the assignments that they will be doing after reading the books. And then once that's complete, they should just keep it with them until the first or second day of school, where they can bring it to their English class. If we click back out, you will see the other to do is athletics. And this is something that is not required, but just an option. And if you click on the tab, you will find all of the athletics that are offered for the 5th grade students in the fall, as well as start times, start dates. And then at the very bottom of the page, there will be some contact information that you can use if you have further questions about the athletics. So yes, if we click back out, there's just one final to do for the 5th graders, and that's for Camp Timberley. Our 5th grade students will be traveling to Camp Timberley on September 7th and 8th, and more information will be available for that trip later in August. So please check back here to find out more information later in August. If we scroll back up, we will take a look at middle school. So for middle school, the dress standards are very similar to the primary school. There are just a few changes that I'd like to note. On Wednesdays, starting in October, in middle school, your student will be required to wear a blazer, a navy blue blazer. And a lot of students choose to just keep these in their lockers so that they have them on Wednesdays. It's completely up to you. And then the boys will be given a prairie tie that they will also be wearing on these Wednesdays starting in October, and you'll get more information as to that start date closer to October. They also will have casual days on Friday where they can wear anything that they'd like to, as long as it's appropriate for school. And spirit wear is also very popular to wear with their uniforms on uniform days as well. If we click back out, we can click on the supply list. And again, most of the supplies are covered in the student inclusive fee. You'll see actually those items at the bottom of the page that are included and purchased through the school already. But at the top of the page, you'll see there's a few items that we'd like you to send with your student on the first day. Again, such as the water bottle, headphones, any pencils or pens that they choose to use and they like to use, and things like that. So this is a great place to see some of those items that they should be bringing on their first day of school. If we click back out, we can scroll down to the to-dos. Just like in 5th grade, in middle school, we also require summer reading. And this is the section where you're able to click to see what books and assignments each grade level should be doing over the summer before the first day of school. Again, they should be bringing that with them on the first day to their English class. If we click back out, we can see that there's another tab for fall athletics for middle school. Here you will see a list of the sports that we have offered in fall for middle school, the practice times, the start dates, some things that we need them to do before registering, such as a physical. And then on the bottom, again, there is some contact information if you have further questions. Okay, if we click back out, we will see our last to do for middle school. And it's specifically for the 6th grade students. So the 6th grade students will be going to Camp Timberley as well. The 6th graders actually spend the night, where the 5th graders, it's a couple day trips. So you'll see they also leave on September 7th, come back on September 9th, and there will be more information located here in August. So please check back closer to August to see that information. If we scroll back up, we will head over to upper school. The first thing that you're going to want to do is put the 9th grade orientation and open house on your calendar. It's going to be on Friday, August 19th. This is completely different than the summer bridge that Molly mentioned before. It's another event. And this event is wonderful in that the students are able to walk through their day, walk through their classes, meet their advisors, meet some of the other students, and just get a better feel for what that first day and first week will feel like. So please mark your calendars for that 9th grade orientation and open house. Secondly, Camp Manitowish, as Molly mentioned before, is another date that you're going to want to pay attention to. They leave on Tuesday, August 23rd and come back on Friday, August 26th. This is the area where you'll be able to find more information about that trip, and also a link to Powerschool and to update that waiver as well. We'll scroll down just a little bit to some first day information. If we click on the first tab, we will see the dress standards for upper school. In our upper school, we no longer require a uniform. So students are able to wear what they would like to wear. We just have a few standards that we want to make sure that what they are wearing is appropriate for school. So if you have any questions about, what they should be wearing, this is a great place to read through and just check to make sure that what they're choosing is something that is appropriate for Prairie. If we click back out, we can click on the supply list. And one thing that changes a little bit in upper school is that the students have more of options as to what they feel works best for them. As far as organizing, maybe they love to use notebooks for every class or one big binder that's separated by class. It's really open to what works the best for each student, as well as pens and pencils and things like that. There are a few things that the math teachers would like you to purchase before the class, and you'll see that broken down by each math class, such as special calculators, compasses, colored pens, things like that. this is the place to look for those things. If we click back out, the last link that we have under the to knows is the college counseling calendar. This is a spot that you would come to find out all of the required college counseling events, as well as some of the optional events offered. Please mark your calendars with these dates. And also, if there are some of the dates that are not required, you can read about and maybe decide with your student if this is something that you would like to do. If we click back out, we will move on to the to-dos. In upper school, they also require summer reading. So this tab, you will see all of the summer reading requirements, the books, the assignments, and your student should just do the assignments and then bring them on the first day of school. Typically, they would be turning them in electronically, and your student will do that going forward, but for this summer, they can bring them on the first day of school. Now that we've clicked back out, you will see that in upper school, there is also a math requirement. For new students, we do not require them to do the summer math assignment. However, if that is something that your student is interested in doing, please reach out to us and we would gladly send information for them to do that. It's just not a requirement for their first year. If we continue to scroll down, you will see the athletic tab. Here is a great place to find out all the information for upper school athletics, how to register, your physical forms, and then to see what athletics we offer, and also to have a link for each coach for each individual sport. That's a great place to find out if you have more questions, you can click on the coach's name and reach out to them. If we click back out, that completes the division specific information. I'm going to turn you back over to Molly so she can give you just a little bit more.
Hi again. Thanks for listening to us as we go through this. Okay, just a few miscellaneous pieces that we want to share with you. Busing details will be finalized throughout the summer. So if your child is planning to use the bus, just keep an eye out for that information if you're in the Racine community. Prairie does use the Racine Unified buses, but it is only Prairie School students on those buses. And that's again for the Racine area. For those families that live in some of those outlying areas, Franklin and Oak Creek, or Kenosha Pleasant Prairie, that information will come to you directly from the admission office. So keep an eye out for communication for that. As we think about the first day of school, again, school starts every day at 8:30 and classrooms open at 8:15. Primary school parents, you are more than welcome to bring your child into the classroom on that first day of school only. After that, we will have you drop your child at door 7, where a teacher would then escort them down to their classroom. But the first day, you certainly are welcome to come in. For middle and upper school students on their first day of school, parents typically drop those students off near door 2, our main entrance, and they can then make their way to class. With regard to COVID, our school is now mask optional. And if there are any additional informational pieces that we want to share with you regarding COVID policies, we will do that prior to the start of the school year. Next, over the summer, you can expect to hear from a Prairie parent buddy. So we have parent connections to ensure that you as a new Prairie parent will have information, resources, connections here at Prairie. And so over the next couple of weeks, you can expect to hear from that parent who will then continue to regularly reach out to you over the course of the school year. For those parents who have students in middle and in upper school, in addition to the parent buddy that you have, Your middle and upper school student will also be matched with a one-on-one buddy to introduce your child to some of those other kids and kind of assist with those first few days of school things. So in terms of what's next, mainly for middle and upper school students, just a reminder that that athletic portal opens on July 18th, and you need to have all the registration materials completed prior to the first day of practice. With regard to our health office, just a reminder that all new students have to have a completed physical form and immunizations on file prior to the first day of school. And you can certainly reach out to us or to the nurse's office if you have any specific questions about that. Other than that, we're going to look forward to seeing you in early August at our coffee conversations. And just a reminder that we are here all summer. If you have questions, if you need more information, don't hesitate, give us a call, shoot us an email. Thanks, everybody.